All right, welcome everyone to our Thursday night series of the iNRS Racing Series. We are at Watkins Glen for the Milan's Magic at the Glen. I'm here in the booth with my co-broadcaster, Noah Evans. Noah, this is going to be a fun time tonight.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's a road course. I mean, you can't really get much more fun than this. One of the more technical tracks on the NASCAR iNRS schedule, but one of the more faster ones, which you wouldn't expect out of Watkins Glen. These bus stops and these corners don't slow these guys down a whole lot. And we're going to see some really fast road course action here today, and we'll see who's going to be our road course ringer for tonight's race.
Well, we already know that Jordan Wenzel has put up some amazing events here at the Glen. So, and for road courses in general, he has been the ringer. So we're watching Jordan Wenzel in that 81 car tonight here at Watkins Glen.
Yeah, we'll see what he can do here so far. It's been a really good year for Jordan Wenzel in that number 81 machine. Right now, Coriana's top of the board. First lap just getting underway for these guys. So definitely pole position not exactly safe yet. You can see Jordan Wenzel immediately top of the board, 10.82, 10.082. And we're going to see what he can do. But it's been a up and down year for the Wenzel team. We've seen them in the last couple of races here in the iNRS series. They've come so close but so far. We saw it in Texas. They were right there and got caught up in a wreck, unfortunately. But Jordan Wenzel, definitely one of the races he can win tonight, and we know he's good on road courses. So let's see what that 81 can do as he's jumping over these chicanes.
All right, let's see if we can bring up some best times here. Of course, the qualifying here takes a little bit longer than usual, so we'll see. But Jordan Wenzel right there with that fast lap of a 1 minute 10.08.
Yeah, we'll see if he can keep that going. And that's one of the other things about Watkins Glen as well. This isn't like a 2-minute road course. This is a pretty fast lap here. Obviously, not tracks like Talladega that are take almost a minute to go around, but it's pretty comparable to lap times like that. But Jordan Wenzel, we'll see if he can improve on his time as he crosses the line. Looks like that'll be his best lap, will be a 10.082. And a couple cars still left to qualify. We're still waiting on Vince Burns, John DeRugeris, Garrett Walden, John Ledger, Richard Mills, and Austin Walton to qualify. But right now, your provisional pole sitter is the 81 of Jordan Wenzel.
Yeah, watching a number of other drivers are still on track, trying to get in their best laps. Now, of course, it is a little bit harder here with a road course, and if you venture too far off the track, you'll struggle to get that lap to qualify. But for the most part, iRacing has been pretty forgiving with off-track excursions.
Yeah, and that really is something you have to watch out for. When we saw it earlier on in the NASCAR season, we're going to see it now. The rules for runoff have changed. You can't use as much of turn one as you used to be able to. Normally, those guys will go all the way off and use as much runoff as they can to grab some speed. Normally, the rules are now that an off-track will occur if only all four wheels are off of the track on the boundaries that we have. So keep an eye out on these guys trying to avoid these time penalties and whatnot. And it's going to be really, really fun to see at least the starts of the restart and start of this race. And that normally is when everybody's bunched together trying to figure out where they're going to go. And definitely going to be a fun race tonight.
All right, we've got 22 entries in tonight's event here as we prepare to inch closer and closer to the playoffs. So that if you're looking at our board, if you see a driver who is outlined in red, that driver has punched their ticket into the playoffs. You're watching John DeRugeris right now on track in that 59 Chevrolet. John's one of the playoff drivers for this. Of course, we've only got 2 more events before we head into the playoffs.
Yeah, for sure. And John is another guy we've been trying to look out for the rest of the season, and he's been really strong and just come really close he's gotten some wins this season, and these guys are really trying to, make that push to the end of the season. You see Jordan Wetzel, he's up top of the board now. DeRugeris goes 12th fastest here. So Wenzel, Ennis, Lem, Bostic, Musau, LaRue, and Walden, and John DeRugeris as well. That's your 12. That's your playoff drivers in as of right now. Billy Smith in the number 70 machine, a really good qualifying effort for him. He goes second. And definitely some names that we're not used to up in the front.
Yeah, hey, and Drew just improved his qualifying. He's now up to 7th.
Really good run for DeRuger is definitely something.
Yeah, he's
been needing.
He's the last car on the lead lap right now. Oh, on the lead lap, on the qualifying lap. Once he's done, at the entire field, most of the field has qualified. There's a number of drivers who basically said, you know what, I think I'll just hang out in the back. So that's right now. Richard Mills, John Ledger, and Vince Burns have chosen to not qualify. Well, that's it for right now. We'll wait for this qualifying period to end. And then in this series, there is a 5-minute period between qualifying and this event. So let's go ahead and talk about a couple of things. For sure, we know that patience, consistency, and turn one are going to be the keys for tonight's event.
Yeah, and turn one is really probably one of the most treacherous turns in all of NASCAR. It's really, really tough to kind of navigate and go through that downhill section without running off the track. You really don't have a lot of room to make a mistake here. Consistency, another thing we've talked about, and we saw it yesterday. You are just going to have to keep hitting laps consistently. And if you can't do that, you're just going to, either run off track or fall behind on a corner. Give the guy behind you a really good opportunity to try and get after you. So keep an eye out on these drivers trying to stay consistent tonight.
All right. Well, I'm more concerned with how these guys handle turn one and then the subsequent turns after that. Of course, it's going to be a challenging race tonight, but with 22 drivers, these guys should be able to get themselves spread out, and it should be all good.
Yeah, and I mean, these guys, once we start getting spread out, you're going to see some odd pit cycle changes. And we saw it yesterday. We saw a lot of guys pit early. Some pitted super, super late into the run. An interesting strategy call we saw was someone taking no tires. And that really is going to play into effect tonight. And normally, tires on road courses don't matter a whole lot. But you may see that come into play. We saw it yesterday. So keep an eye out on the pit cycles that these guys are going to have. They are really going to have to be on the money.
Absolutely. Well, let's talk about the current standings right now in this series.
Yep, John DeRugeris, we were just talking about him earlier. He is in on points, so he is locked in without a win. So he's one of those 4 drivers. Bostic is locked in as well. Lem and Walden. Looking at that cut line there, it's really close. We're watching Vince Burns, Jeffrey Ramsdell, Ron Fitting, and Anthony Japs are battling for that 17th spot. 1 spot out there, and we are almost essentially tied for 16th, both 25 points up, 25 points back. So keep an eye out there on that kind of 15th down spot. And what a year it's been for Jordan Wenzel as well. 5 wins on the season, easily the most dominant driver. And we're going to see if he can hold on to it to the end of the season.
Yeah, Austin Wheeler has been there nipping at his heels. Jordan Wenzel has basically scooped up all of the road courses so far. It could be a clean sweep here in the regular season. All right, so we are in the current driver meeting time. They use about 4 minutes here as these drivers spend some time talking with admins about what to expect on track. But I do want to highlight tonight's sponsor for tonight's event. It's sponsored by Milan's Magic. Milan's Magic is a small, locally owned business run by Milan. Milan's a registered nurse and a big advocate for veterans and mental health. All of Milan Magic's products are handmade using materials produced in the U.S., Every candle is made with soy wax, meaning a cleaner burn for better air quality. So longer lasting and a much stronger scent. So visit milansmagic.com. That's MILANS magic.com to grab the best smelling candles at an affordable price.
There you go.
All right. So with that, we'll continue to talk here amongst ourselves as we look at today's race. Let's bring up the um, current race information here for tonight's event.
All right. We're going to have a 45 lap race today. Stage break is going to be at lap 15. So we were talking about those chaotic restarts. No quick repairs. You break it, you fix it, and that really is going to play into how these guys are going to race tonight. Kind of the strategy. You don't want to bump and bang the whole time. Otherwise, you're going to be stuck in the pits for a little bit. 6 sets of tires, 1 starting on the car. You're going to have 5 in the pit, 75% fuel. I doubt we'll see all 6 sets of tires come out. 3 green, white checker restarts. And a little bit of a hot day today. 111-degree track temperature.
Oh, yeah, it's
And
smoking
it's going to
hot.
be scorching today here at Watkins Glen.
So a bit of a strategy here, Noah. We do have in this league a stage break at lap 15. And judging by what we know, we ran some test laps and in talking with drivers, they could go as much as 27 laps on that tank of fuel. So if you say that yellow flag is going to come out at lap 15, we've got a 45 lap race. So that's just shy of where it could be. So it's possible, I guess, with the caution that comes out, work your way around to possibly make it, but I don't think so. I think they're going to have to come in after that stage break one more time, if nothing else, to top off fuel.
Yeah, and I doubt you'll see guys try to stretch it that far. It's going to be a little bit tough to just keep trying to hold on to it, but nonetheless, it's really going to be a fun night here. Watkins Glen's going to see a little bit of strategy calls here. I would assume when the stage break comes out, you're going to see some guys come down pit road and just either top off fuel, take some right side tires. But I would think lap 15 would be the time everybody needs to come in.
Absolutely. All right, so we're just a minute away from our gridding up of this field here in the iNRS Racing Series. We really appreciate those of you who are tuning in live and who will watch this later on replay. We do this each and every Thursday night here with the iNRS Racing Series. This league, race for race, event for event, mimics what you see on Sunday. So this is a great opportunity to get a preview of what you'll see on Saturday and Sunday in the Cup Series. So, this is Watkins Glen is pretty much one of the most amazing road courses in my mind. It's not too big, not too small. It has some wild turns. We've seen over the years some amazing racing here, but also some really wild crashes.
Yeah, we saw it with like David Rudiman. We saw in the 00 machine going through the chute, a horrible crash there. Classic finishes like Brad Keselowski, Marcus Ambrose, and just last year, Shane Van Gisbergen and Chris Buescher in the carousel. And we may see another one of those tonight. Maybe we'll see one of those Watkins Glen magical finishes. But first, we have to find that checkered flag.
We do, and we have just been given the word that the drivers' meeting has ended and the competitors are climbing into their cars for tonight's event here in the Milan's Magic at the Glen.
All right, ready to see some of iRacing's best here. Get ready to go back at it, and let's get our starting lineup.
There you go.
On pole position for IRFK Racing, it is Jordan Wenzel, your winningest driver on the season. It's Billy Smith on the outside, Corey Anderson third, Tyler Lemon fourth, Ty Bostic in fifth, Jacob Musow sixth, John DeRuger is seventh, Dakota LaRue in eighth, Garrett Walden ninth, and Christopher Cash. That's going to round out your top 10.
In 11th, you've got Tony Japs. In 12th, it's going to be Bradley Reese. In 13th, you've got Joe Musow with Scott Thomas to the outside. Austin Walton is in 15th with Ron Fitting in 16th. Mike Wheel in 17th with Eric Jeffers in 18th. Shane Trotter in 19th and Vince Burns in 20th.
21st is going to be John Ledger for IWM. 22nd is Richard Mills.
And that rounds up our
And that
field.
rounds
That's
out the field.
yeah, 22 entries.
Definitely going to be a fun one here, and I'm sure a car not a lot of people want to see on pole position is a Red Bull car. We know how good that sponsor's been this season for guys like Shane Van Gisbergen and Connor Zillage. And it's going to be a fun one. Here at Watkins Glen, 22 drivers in this very, very tight competitive field. Not a lot of gap between these guys. And we're going to see who can conquer Watkins Glen International. 7 turns, almost an average of 80 miles an hour. Going up through the gears, we are green at Watkins Glen.
Oh, side-by-side racing between Billy Smith and Jordan Wenzel right out of the gate.
We'll see if that outside line will prevail. Looks like it's going to. Can he clear him down into turn number 2? Looks like Wenzel gets the inside run there.
Through the S's, they're now nose to tail here in the top 4.
Wenzel now has a little bit of a lead he can stay comfortable with. They're going to keep running down here into the bus stop. We'll see what he can do here. Will Billy Smith make a move? And right behind him, Corey Ennis in that really bright number 27 machine. He's going to try to make a run at it. He's sponsored by Milan's Magic, who is our title sponsor tonight. And Billy Smith, Jordan Wenzel, and Corey Ennis round out your top 3 here, as we are just coming to the end of lap 1.
These drivers go wide, making their way down towards the start-finish line.
Still seeing a little bit of too wide action in the back, but more or less nose to tail here. And Billy Smith really good there in the chute, trying to get a good exit there. He may get a run here up through the S's. We'll see what he can do.
A little bit of wide action further on the back. Some of our drivers took that turn 1 pretty wide back there, Noah.
Yeah, we'll see if we'll have any penalties handed out. But in the meantime, it is Wenzel, Smith, Ennis. At the back end of this 4-car breakaway, you have Tyler Lem, the number 99 machine for IRFK. Really good run for him so far. He's bearing down on the 27 machine of Corey Ennis, and we'll see if he can make that pass for the top 3 spot. But Jordan Wenzel trying to run away with it.
Looking back in 3rd place at Corey Ennis here. That's a very colorful paint there in the 27 tonight. Again, he's sponsored by Milan Magic, all custom soy-based candles. Get the opportunity, visit milansmagic.com.
Yeah, he is really trying to hold off Tyler Lem. We'll see what he can do here. And he's getting there. Lem has really gotten close. We'll see if he can get him up through the S's here. He is right on the bumper of Corey Ennis now, looking to the outside. Can he get a run? Not quite. He's going to try to make that run down into the bus stop. We'll see how close he'll get. Fastest lap on the board so far, Jordan Wenzel. He sets a 1:10.291 up through the carousel. Here comes Lem and Ennis. And they're making a really good show here. Looking to the inside, can't quite get there. We'll see if we'll get a run down the straightaway. Not quite
Corey
enough
Ennis,
speed just yet.
Corey Ennis bit off a little bit of grass through the bus stop, kind of allowed Tyler Lem to touch and get pretty close to that bumper, but he made up for it coming down through the carousel.
Yeah, he may get him here on the straightaway. Yep, he gets the inside here. Here comes the run down the front straightaway now. And this is going to be a really big dive to get it done. We'll see if he can do it way early on the brakes. He gets to the inside. Ennis trying to make that outside stick on the chicanes. Tyler Lem will make the pass. Got a car way off there. But right now, Tyler Lem, he moves up into the 3rd spot. And we have another 3 cars coming behind him. That's Jacob Musow and Ty Bostic.
Taking a quick peek back up front with Jordan Wenzel and Billy Smith. They're beginning to kind of stretch out that gap they had between them. And again, this is a road course, which means you're not going to typically see if someone spins out or there's a crash in the corner somewhere. Full course cautions. It's going to be relatively, it will really take a big event to shut this down. So if you can go like these guys are going, you can stretch out. Look at the gap between second and third place.
Yeah, one thing I'm noticing about Billy Smith as well, he's not really fallen off as much. He is still kind of hanging with Jordan Wenzel, so not a lot of fall off there. But yeah, like you were talking about, that gap behind them, exactly what these top two want to see. Not a lot of riffraff to have to deal with behind him, but that battle for third definitely heating up.
All right, looking back as we go back through the field again, Tyro Lem is back here, and he's got really three hungry drivers on his tail. Jacob Musow, Corey Ennis, and Ty Bostic. Jacob Musow has made his way around the 27 of Corey Ennis. Now Ty Bostic is trying to get around the 27.
Yeah, Ennis messed up somewhere, and he's falling back, and he is still falling back. Look at John DeRugers there, way off that racing line there. He gets a spot from Garrett Walden in the 43 machine. Now he's trying to catch Christopher Cash in the number 90 machine. We'll see if he can get up to him. But John DeRuger is up a couple spots here. He's still trying to find his way back up. Started in the 7th spot. Fell back just a little bit on the start of this race, but he's definitely gaining him back. He has to get through Christopher Cash and Dakota LaRue, however, if he wants to make that run back up to the top 5.
Looking further on back in the field, looking at Richard Mills and John Ledger. These two drivers have picked up a lot of spots. They started at the tail end of this field. Now Richard Mills is +7. He's up 7 spots. And John Ledger right behind him is up 5 spots.
Doing really good job so far here from Jordan Wenzel. Billy Smith as well, keeping their nose clean. We're just about 10 laps away from the stage break. Looks like we got a car around. That's a 28 machine. He'll get back going. It's the other Musow brother.
Joe Musow spins that car around. Unfortunately, loses a number of spots there.
I believe he was up close to the top 5 there, and unfortunate for him, you can see there the 36 machine of Bradley Reese. He's trying to chase down Garrett Walden. A little bit of a ways back, but like we said, this is a road course. You can really, force a driver to make a mistake, and that's what we've seen a lot of the times. A lot of spins aren't from contact, just from getting in a guy's head. And looking back up there, John DeRuger now is bearing down on Christopher Cash, trying to make that move. Couldn't quite get there. Going to fall back into the slipstream. We'll see if he can make a move down into turn 1. And yeah, just really fluid motions there from John DeRuger, getting every part of that corner he can. And we'll see if he can get by Christopher Cash in these next couple of laps.
In front of Christopher Cash, you've got Dakota LaRue in the 18. He's right there. So these drivers are pretty much they're all battling for position at this early stage here at lap 7. Here's the move by the 59, trying to get position on the 90.
He's gotten really aggressive here, trying to get by Christopher Cash. We'll see if we can get him in the carousel. Looks like he'll get a run up the inside here, a little bit into the grass, side by side now. He's going to clear. This is a really good battle we're watching right here. A very deep dive there. Try to make that move stick, just couldn't quite do it. And John DeRuger really wants that spot.
Yeah, there's another opportunity he'll have coming up, but we'll need to get a little bit better position on Christopher Cash.
And like we were talking about earlier, we talked about consistency, and you don't really want to be, ducking and diving every lap trying to find a spot to pass somebody. Just get up to them, because if you can stay close with them, that's where your opportunities to pass are going to be. And he's really trying to make these runs work, but he just can't quite get up to Christopher Cash.
All right, we're going to jump back up front. Jordan Wenzel and Billy Smith. Let's get a look at that gap that these drivers have begun to extend out over the field. They're nearly 6 seconds in front of third place, Tyler Lem.
Yeah, Tyler Lem doing a good job there, and 8 seconds back, like you said, and Billy Smith falling off just a little bit there on Jordan Wenzel, but he's looking for win number 6 on the season. And that's most in a lot of these drivers combined, I think. It's pretty close to that count. But Jordan Wenzel, really good run for him today. Tyler Lem trying to get that gap a little bit bigger between him and Musal. But he's got his work cut out for him if he wants to get up to Billy Smith, who is 9 seconds ahead of him.
All right, Jacob Musal in the 25 is right there sitting in fourth place as he tries to run down Tyler Lem. You can at least see his bumper as they enter into the bus stop. And I think it's so much more, if you're the driver, you can really kind of build up that momentum when you can see the guy you're trying to run down. But if the guy you're trying to chase is kind of outside of your peripheral vision or outside of your main view through your windshield, kind of it's hard. You know, it makes it a challenge.
Yeah, and it's almost like fuel to the fire for some of these guys. I mean, seeing that guy mess up, you're like, yes, come on, do that the next lap. I can get by you. And it really is just so infuriating when you just can't get around a guy in one spot. But that really is what Corey Ennis or Jacob Musal is trying to do now, just trying to get up to Tyler Lem. Just if you can get to his bumper, that could be enough for some of these guys to make a move.
Yeah, especially if you watch that guy and he makes a mistake or he's also doing something that you can learn from. Hey, that's a faster way to get through that. That's a better line. Then, you know, he can school you, and then you can apply that and see what happens next time by. There is 45 laps here. We do have a stage break coming in 5 laps. But yeah, this is definitely an opportunity to learn something from the guy you're chasing down.
Yeah, and learning is one of the names of the game, like you said, and you can really figure out a lot from a guy, you know, where he's going to mess up, where he's going to go wide, where he's struggling at, and that's what Ty Bostic's trying to figure out right now. He's been setting up Jacob Musal, or excuse me, Corey Ennis, for the last couple of laps here, really trying to figure out where he's going, where he's going to run wide, where he's not braking so well. You can see he's learning. He's not trying to be overly aggressive. He's staying patient, and that's the name of the game at a road course. You just really want to watch where this guy's going to go, figure out where he's not as good, and figure out where you are good, and use that to your advantage. Back through this field here, we're still watching the battle going on between Ennis and Bostic, and it's still heating up a little bit. Bostic fell back just a little, but he's learning where Corey Ennis is trying to go here, and that number 22 machine starting to bear down and try to put the pressure on, and that really is what you want to do at a road course like this. Here is the number 59 of the Rouger. Is kind of in no man's land right now, and that really is one of the worst places to be on a road course. You kind of don't want to be too far away from everybody, but you don't want to be too close either.
The good news is that he was able to get around for John is Garrett Walden, so he was able to get past the 43. Now he's setting his sights on is the 18 of Dakota LaRue.
We'll see if he can get by Dakota LaRue. He's one of the playoff drivers. From first on down to ninth, we have 8 playoff drivers. The only one not in the top, the only 2 drivers in the top 10 that aren't in the playoffs, Billy Smith and Christopher Cash.
Yeah, Billy Smith is that interloper up there in second place, really working hard to do something with Jordan Wenzel. That gap is closed. Let's go back up to Billy Smith here. He is definitely trying to close that gap, just 2.4 seconds behind the 81 of Jordan Wenzel.
Yeah, and he has that 2.3 seconds, but in reality, that's a long, long way to go on a road course, and it's hard to maintain that gap and not burn your tires up. But fortunately for him, we got 2 laps till the stage break, so he definitely could come and take some new tires. And we've seen these restarts; anything can happen, and that may be Billy Smith's opportunity. He's just kind of hanging back, saving his stuff because he knows if he can get better tires on a restart, he might have a chance to win this thing.
Yeah, he was side by side with Jordan Wenzel on the start of this event. Almost looked like he was going to take that first place position away for a moment there, but Jordan was able to eke it out as they went through the S's.
Gonna keep trying here. A little bit loose there coming out of the bus stop, and he definitely is trying to keep a hold of that thing and try to close this gap here. It goes, that gap, you're watching the timer there on the left, going up and down a little bit. You can definitely see the sections where he's better than Wenzel, but it's just not enough to close that gap as of right now, and he definitely is looking forward to that stage break flag there.
Number of drivers have pitted early. Mike Wheel, Ron Fitting, and also Billy Smith finds himself on pit road.
Yeah, and I'm thinking he's doing that. It looks like the pit road, no entry lights are on there, so he may have beat those by just a hair. But interesting strategy call here from Billy Smith, and I'm assuming it's for position. Obviously, he wants to have that better start because he knows some guys are going to be coming down pit road. So, bold strategy. We'll see if this will play out, but definitely not what I expected to see out of the second place car.
No, very interesting. But everybody has. That's the unique thing about iRacing is you are your own crew chief. You've got your own strategy, and we'll see if this approach pays off. Well, he didn't. That was a quick stop there. So Billy Smith is out with a 15.38, 47 seconds on and off of pit road.
He may have just taken fuel, and we'll see if that is all he took. But interesting call from Billy Smith. He's going to lose a couple of spots there. He goes all the way down to 17th. Jordan Wenzel, he's going to take this stage victory.
Yep,
we'll
once
see who's going to follow in close.
Once lap 15 is complete, that caution will come out. You know, maybe that that Billy Smith will be able to come back down onto pit road.
Yeah, and we'll see if he may come down there, but definitely interesting for sure, and we'll see if Billy Smith will come back down for new tires, like you said. But Jordan Wenzel, I mean, perfect so far today. We'll see if he can keep it perfect, but he's gonna have some really good cars to deal with behind him.
So the caution will fly here at the end of this lap. Cars will make their way around. It'll take a lap or two for the pace car, I think, to pick them all up. And there it is. Our caution is out. Stage 1 has been completed.
Checkered flag will fall on stage 1. And your top 10 is Jordan Wenzel, Tyler Lem, Jacob Newsow, Corey Ennis, Dakota LaRue, Ty Bostic, John DeRugeris, Garrett Walden, Bradley Reese, and Christopher Cash round out your top 10. Oh, big scare there for Jordan Wenzel. Saw the 96 there.
Yeah, that's Mike Wheel. Yep. All right, like I said before, they're going to lose a few laps to this pace car. when they get caught up to that. I think it's a Porsche tonight, Noah.
Looks like it is, and that's a first for me for sure. Never seen a Cup Series pace car be a Porsche, but definitely an interesting call there. But going back up front here, we'll see who will come down pit road, and definitely going to be some interesting strategy calls we're going to see here. Some take tires, some take fuel. We don't know yet. We're going to find out soon enough.
Yeah, pretty much based on the fact that we're just picking up the pace car now here, lap 17. It'll be a lap or two before we go back to green. That pretty much means you're going to be pretty close to be able to make it all the way around. We'll see when we take that green flag.
We shall see.
All right, leading them through the bus stop. We'll make our way through the carousel and down towards the start finish line. Most of these drivers, I think all of these drivers we expect to see on pit road. Exciting race so far, Noah. These guys have done a great job putting up some great times here so far.
Yeah, and they're really keeping it clean too. I think that's something else to note as well. And haven't seen a lot of incidents at all, not a lot of off tracks either. So really good, hard, clean racing so far. And we're seeing guys, make passes clean, and a lot of clean passes, not pushing and shoving. And that is exactly what you want to see at a road course like this. And looks like the 81 machine will commit to pit road. We'll see a whole trail of cars come down. Looks like that might be the entire field. Looks like it may be. And keep an eye out there. Billy Smith, we'll see if he'll come down pit road as well. If we can find that number 71 machine.
He did not. He has stayed out.
Okay. So he must be pretty confident in those tires then. We'll see if... I don't think he took tires. I think he may have just taken fuel. So he's pretty confident he can make that machine last to the end, but definitely going to be interesting to see what he can do with that.
Yeah, the box time says that he did, but I didn't see it.
Yeah, I don't believe he did either.
If we
We'll
make
see
it,
if he did or not.
Yeah, if he makes it back up to the booth at the end, we'll figure out just how bold that strategy was. Everybody else, from what we can see, took 4 tire change and fuel. Getting out here at lap 18 as they try to catch back up to the 70 of Billy Smith.
Yeah, and something to note as well. Look who beat a couple of these cars out of the pits. Corey Ennis gained a couple spots there, and he's going to move up to. I think he'll really start in the 3rd spot, right behind Billy Smith. So he's in prime position right now to make a move.
Yeah, what we're going to see is Billy Smith will be out there. He flopped positions with Jordan Wenzel, so it'll be Smith and Wenzel on the front row. You'll have Corey Ennis and Tyra Lem. That's where they started. That second row will be exactly the same. You'll have Dakota LaRue now. He's the interloper there in row 3. But Jacob Musso and John DeRugis will be right back where they started. So,
yeah, we'll see what those guys can do, and they're definitely waiting for this pace car to come off pit road now. Looks like we will have one DNF here. Christopher Cash will be out of tonight's race, so unfortunate to see a driver already out. But back up in front is Billy Smith and Jordan Wenzel. We'll see where they will commit to either the inside or the outside line. So far from what we saw on the start of that race, the outside line got around a little bit better through turn 1 and got the lead. That's who we saw, Jordan Wenzel. That's what the move he made. So we'll see if Billy Smith will commit to the outside as well. But in the meantime, it is all... Yeah, but looks like he'll stay on the outside there. So good call from Smith.
Yep, well, they're changing it up. There goes the lights off on the pace car, and Smith has chosen a different line.
Wow, and that'll be interesting for sure. And we saw where, Wenzel started on the inside line on the main start of this race. So this may be the good call here for Smith. Ennis taking that as well, and he'll have Dakota LaRue behind him, and then Wenzel will have Ennis. So, or excuse me, Tyler Lem is who Wenzel will have behind him. So 2 Ford Mustangs there. A lot of this field, we see a lot of Fords in here, only a couple Toyotas, but we'll see if Billy Smith can take this run here and do something with it. But on these old tires, he is going to have to not crawl around here, but he's going to have to be really careful.
Here's an interesting note to make that the IWM guys, John DeRudris, John Ledger, and Eric Jeffers all dropped back into the pits and topped off fuel.
Really interesting call there.
They gave up a lot of positions to get back.
Yeah, not quite sure why that would have happened, but we'll see how it'll play out towards the end of this race, because, I mean, we're not even halfway through it yet.
All right, drivers are making their way through the bus stop at about the halfway point. Looks like the 22 of Ty Bosick must have had some damage. He was in the pits for a couple minutes there. He's the last car on the lead lap, and he's racing to catch back up with the field.
Yeah, he's coming out of the carousel now, so he'll definitely be full sending it down the straightaway there to catch up with this field. But we'll see if he can do it. It looks like he'll be able to. He's got a lot of right front damage, so we'll see how that'll play into it. But looking back up front, it is Billy Smith and Jordan Wenzel coming into the restart zone. We'll see how this is going to play out. This is going to be an interesting restart here. This may be for the race win if we don't see another caution. Into the restart zone. And we are back green here at Watkins Glen, and here comes the run down the front straightaway. We'll see if Billy Smith can get something done here.
Oh, yeah, he's in position.
Wenzel trying to get a run around the outside. Oh, we make clear, and there's contact there. And there goes Musow. He goes around. He's stuck up into the barrier, so unfortunate there for Jacob Musow. He's going to lose a lot of spots. We're side by side up through the S's. Billy Smith comes through with it.
Smith takes over that lead and puts himself right in front of Jordan Wenzel as they enter the bus stop.
We heard on the comms, it's all good, brother, from Dakota LaRue and Jacob Musow, so no hard feelings there. Unfortunate contact, but back up front, Billy Smith trying to run away with this here. He's got Jordan Wenzel and Corey Ennis chasing him down. Ennis lost a spot to Lem. Oh, we got a car hard into the wall in the back there. We'll see if we can find out who that is. Looks like it's Mills. Richard Mills hard into the wall. He's got a lot of front right damage.
Yeah, he's not going to make it around.
Really
that right front is gone. He's going to park it, call it a day. I don't think he can get back.
No, and he really took a hard hit there, and we'll see if we can get a replay of exactly what happened. But that's two really hard, not hard hits, but two really big spins in one lap.
The 96 of Mike Wheel has got some extensive front end damage as well. He's also on pit road.
Yeah, we saw him have that just a little bit earlier. In the meantime, back up front, it is Billy Smith trying to run away with this win here. We'll see if he can do it, but he has to deal with a 5-time winner of the season who went wide.
Oh, wait.
He cuts way through the grass.
That's not going to work. He definitely cut that bus stop. He may get a penalty for that.
Yeah, we'll see if he does, and that's going to open up the door for Tyler Lem. If he does get a penalty, that opened up the door for him in general, and that's going to be huge for the 99 trying to chase down Jordan Wenzel.
Usually there's a time penalty that will be assessed. He's got to give that time back.
Yeah, let's check it out. And one of the things to look out is all there off of turn 7. You can see all that gravel that's on there from Richard Mills getting into the grass there, and that's going to get cleaned up as the race goes on. So these guys trying to scrub these tires quickly. In the meantime, it's all Billy Smith. He's got Jordan Wenzel behind him, Tyler Lem, Corey Ennis, and Dakota LaRue trying to get back up there. That's your top 5. And Billy Smith, what a run it's been for him tonight, and he picked right on that restart.
Absolutely. Not only that, he made that smart decision to stay out, went into the pits, got his service early, didn't have to come in during the stage break, and all the power to him. That was a great call.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about the strategy here. It seems to me he could possibly be banking on a caution to come out, and he can take tires at that point. I wouldn't bank on that, me personally, but really bold strategy call from Billy Smith, and he may be a genius for this. We may see it play out in his favor as tonight's run goes on here. But we just passed lap 22, almost to halfway there. This lap here will be halfway there.
Yep, 23 laps to go here to the end of the Milan Magic at the Glen here. Again, that's our sponsor for tonight. Milan's Magic is a small, locally owned business run by Milan. Milan's a registered nurse and a big advocate for veterans and mental health. All of Milan Magic's products are handmade using materials produced here in the U.S. Every candle is made with soy wax, meaning a cleaner burn for better air quality, longer lasting, and a much stronger scent. So visit milansmagic.com to grab the best smelling candles at an affordable price. All right, 23 laps to go. Billy Smith in that familiar paint scheme, Red Bull, reminiscent for SVG out in front here. That's a familiar sight, right, Noah?
Yeah, and he's got Connor Zilish ran the same scheme as well, and he's doing a really good job here.
Oh,
and
the
Red
17, 17 of Austin Walton is upside down. He has flipped that car, and he's in the pits now, but let's try to see just what happened to Austin Walton.
Yeah, he took a big tumble there. And I've yet to see how a car would have flipped here. So it looks like he may have just sent it too hard over the rumble strips. Let's see here. It's like there's the spin starts, just sends it a little too hard. Looks like he caught the gravel at a bad angle. Yep, he caught the gravel at a bad angle, and that just sent him up and over. Wow.
Big wreck for the 17.
And he goes belly up, back up in front. It's Billy Smith, Jordan Wenzel, and wouldn't say that gap has closed a lot, but Billy Smith definitely looking in his rearview mirror to see where Jordan Wenzel's at.
Let's ride on board with Jordan Wenzel for a lap or so. Through the S's. They head towards the bus stop. Through the carousel. Those curbs really upset these cars.
Yeah, and we haven't seen, besides the one with the 17, we haven't seen a whole lot of spins coming off the curbs, and really trying not to upset the car there. But Billy Smith has been trying to keep it clean, but those tires may be nearing the end of their lifespan, as Jordan Wenzel has caught up big time to Billy Smith.
He's definitely looking for an opportunity to regain that lead.
And we'll see if he can do it. We have a battle going on here for the sixth spot, for the fifth spot, between Dakota LaRue, Garrett Walden, and Bradley Reese. Reese, a very quiet run for the 36 team tonight, but they have been there in the top 10 so far, and he is doing an excellent job there trying to chase down Garrett Walden. He's just right there on the bumper of that 40 XLI machine, trying to make it done. In the back there, you can see he's lurking. John DeRuger's in no man's land, but he's trying to make his way back up to that top 5 battle.
Yeah, I remember Jerudris and Ledger went in early at the, well, I say that, he went in late at the end of that yellow flag stage break and topped off fuel to ensure he'll have fuel at the end of this event.
Yeah, he really is wanting to make that run go all the way to the end here. Really good battle here we're watching. And like we said, you can see there he's not making any big moves right now. He's just kind of staying behind the 43 machine. He's learning. He's watching where he's going to mess up. He may make a move here if he can catch the draft of the 43 machine. Looks like there's nothing doing there. Yeah, you can see peeks for a dive bomb, see if he has the momentum, just doesn't have it, and he's going to still stay behind that number 43 machine, but that is just textbook road course racing right there. And you can see Walden not holding up traffic, but he's definitely holding up the 36 from getting up to that top 5, and LaRue is starting to pull away a little bit.
Yeah, pretty much John DeRuger is up as this battle. We go back to Tony Japs here in the back in the 42. He's got the 22 of Ty Bostic on his tail as these drivers enter the bus stop. It's nose to tail with Bostic, Thomas, Musso. Two drivers.
A couple cars into the wall back there. It's like that's Joe Musso.
Yeah, the 20 of Joe Musso, and I think Scott Thomas also wound up a little bit off track there through the bus stop.
Yeah, that could have gone a lot worse. Looks like there's no damage on either of those cars, but they almost went head first into the wall at the end of the bus stop. And that was calamity avoided right there for sure.
The 79 of Scott Thomas currently showing in 13th place.
Doing a good job there trying to hold on to that spot. And gets by Ron Fitting in the meantime. You can see the gap there has gotten a little bit bigger between Billy Smith and Jordan Wenzel. It's gotten up to 0.4 of a second now, which isn't a lot, but it's growing, and it is exactly what Billy Smith wants to see here. You can see down into the off of the carousel though, getting down there into the 0.2, almost into the ones. We'll see if he'll make a move. Doesn't have the momentum.
These drivers cross the start-finish line. They're going to start coming up to potentially some lapped traffic, which could make this very interesting for these drivers. And just as they're going through the S's now, just entering the bus stop, not just a little bit ahead, is the 96 of Mike Wheel. They'll have to deal with that. My guess is somewhere as they get back to the start-finish line.
Yeah, we'll see if lap cars may play a factor into this, but Wenzel hard into the wall. Oh no, catastrophe for Jordan Wenzel. He hits the wall off the bus stop hard. Definitely some left side damage there.
Yeah, he's got some damage on that 81. He may not be able to continue. That damage is extensive.
Wow, and a day turned on its head for Jordan Wenzel, who we thought was going to be our road course ringer, may be out of this race. And what just happened here at Watkins Glen? Yeah, he's way off the pace there. Not good at all for the 81.
He's trying to nurse it back onto pit road, see if he can get this damage repaired on that 81. But his day may be done. And his day is done.
Yep. Wow. Not good at all for Jordan Wenzel. And obviously, he still has the most wins. He's got 5. He's secure in that number 1 spot, but that is just such a rough way to lose a race. And really unfortunate there, but Billy Smith is loving what he's seeing. 4 seconds is the gap between him and Tyler Lem, and he's got to hold that up for 15 more laps.
Billy Smith won't see another car for a while here. He's got pretty much about a third of a track before he winds up anywhere near the 96 of Mike Wheel. He just needs to kind of keep it together now and just kind of keep his head in the right space. Just be consistent as he makes it away around this track, and he's good to go. He's got Tyler Lem in his rearview mirror, but he's got some time.
Yeah, he's got plenty of time, and he just has to keep it clean now. That really is all he has to do, and if he can do that, he'll be home scot-free and hopefully parking this car in victory lane.
Jumping on back to the 27 of Corey Ennis, he's in a battle with the 18 of Dakota LaRue. Nope, looks like Mike Wheel may have gone off track.
Looks like he can maybe come out of pit road there, just waiting for everybody to move. Looks like he'll get off there, but yeah, we saw that front end damage from Mike Wheel. He's going to be 8 laps down. Trying to whoa, cars way off the track back there, and you can see everybody using every inch of this road course. Here at Watkins Glen, really close there with Joe Musow. He's going to get by clean, but it has not been the best of days for Joe Musow for sure.
Back up to Corey Ennis and Dakota LaRue. He's got about a second and a half between himself and the 18. Going on back a bit to Tony Japs, he's got right there on his tail, he's got Jacob Musow and Eric Jeffers. Guys are battling there, looking. Tony is currently showing in 8th, Musow in 9th, and Eric Jeffers in 10th.
Yeah, really good top 10 here so far. Only 3 drivers that are outside of the playoffs. That's Billy Smith, Tony Japs, and Eric Jeffers. Been a quiet day for Tony Japs as well. We haven't talked a lot about him and that beautiful car
36.
off the track. 36 of Bradley Reese, and he was just up in the top 10 earlier. And that really is going to compromise his day. But going back to Tony Japs, really good paint scheme there. One that Joe Nemechek used to run, sponsored by Black Rifle Coffee Company. That used to be Bell South on that 42 machine. Really cool to see a throwback-esque paint scheme. He's way wide there. He's going to go through the grass.
Gave up a lot of positions there. Yeah. He lost 2.
Yeah, but I think that may be a case of announcer's curse possibly. So unfortunate there for quite possibly, but unfortunate for Tony Japs, but he's still trucking along. Shout out to Ty Bostic as well. Had some right front damage early on, and he's sitting in the 7th spot. Really good points today for Ty Bostic.
Yeah, good run by the number 22. And in front of him, you've got John Drew just in the 59. He continues. He is, he's up 1 position from where he qualified after his stop in the pits for stage break and stopping for fuel. So he has made his way in the top 6.
Yeah, and we were just talking about it earlier, too. He's kind of in that no man's land, and he really is the only driver I've seen in that spot so far today. He's got a big gap out back. He has about an almost 10-second gap to the next car behind him, which is Ty Bostic, but he's been really working Garrett Walden down these last couple of laps. He really is going to be trying to kind of close that, hopefully grab a top 5 finish, which is something he wants. He's in on points, so he doesn't have to do a whole lot of work the rest of this season, or at least the rest of this regular season. But any spot he can get for safety, for a safety net, he definitely wants.
Billy Smith now maintains a 3.7 second gap over second place Tyro Lem. Corey Ennis in 3rd has got a couple seconds between himself and Dakota LaRue, but really it's going to be a lot of work for the 27 to catch that 99.
Yeah, it's going to take a lot of effort to get up there to the 99 of Lem, but we talked about it earlier. He had Billy Smith had a 4.7 second gap between him and Tyler Lem just a couple laps ago. It's now down to 3.2, and that is not at all what Billy Smith wants to see.
washing up front, and the 70 of Billy Smith. But now he can begin to see Tyler Lem in his rearview mirror there.
Yeah, keeping in between that 3.2, 3.4 range is kind of that sweet spot for Billy Smith. He's almost into the 10 lap to go range. And really all he has to do here is just be smart, keep it smooth. And you can see there, he's a little bit slower in the corners, but as soon as he gets on that straightaway, he is gapping the 99 machine of Lem by a decent margin. And he's really just wanting this race to be over just so he can get that checkered flag and call it a good night.
All right, 10 laps to go here at the Milan's Magic at the Glen here. Billy Smith continues to lead. Tyler Lemon second. Kind of lengthened that spot a little bit there. He's got that gap, rather. He's got about 3.6 seconds separating second. Corey Ennis in third. Dakota LaRue in fourth. Garrett Walden in fifth. And looks like John DeRudris now is a bit closer to that 43.
Yeah, he is really starting to get in the head of that number 43 of Garrett Walden there. And watching a driver get closer and closer to you is something that will really mess with you as a driver. And you're like, how is he better there? I suck right at that corner. I don't understand how he's so fast there. And that's probably what Garrett Walden's thinking. DeRudris has really got that time up there. You can see he is just bearing down on the 43.
Yeah, just a fraction of a second or so behind. He now has opportunities. There are passing points throughout this track here at the Glen, and he's looking for opportunity.
Yep, an opportunity is the name of the game on these road courses. He is just really trying hard to catch that 43 machine, and we'll see if he can do it.
This is the closest battle, I think, on the track at the moment.
I think it is as well, and he's doing a really good job there trying to just get closer. And we saw he learned from his last mistakes earlier of ducking out too early and kind of losing that draft. He's just there now, and he's just staying right behind that 43, waiting for him to mess up. And this is going to be prime opportunity here if he can get a good run. We'll see what he'll do here down the back straightaway. Yeah, he ducks to the inside. Will he have the move? No, he won't.
Looking through the bus stop as he works his way around, looking for opportunity. And you're right, Noah. It's a combination of opportunity followed by taking advantage of a mistake.
Yep, and that is the name of the game at road courses as well. If you're just strung out, wait for the guy in front of you to mess up. He'll do it at some point.
All right, with 8 laps to go, Billy Smith currently leads out in front here by, just under 2.8 seconds.
Yeah. And he's lost about a second from when we last checked in on him. He had a 3.6 second gap. It's now down to 2.9, so those tires definitely starting to go away from him just a little bit.
We're going to jump over to the Eric Jeffers battle. Eric is battling right now. He's got Tony Japs on his tail. They're separated by, again, fractions of a second back there as they try to run down the 22 of Ty Bostic.
He's doing a really good job there. You can see the 12 machine trying to chase him down, and we'll see if he can do it. Oh, Bostic with a big mistake there, run to the outside. Here comes Eric Jeffers looking around the outside, and we now have a battle going on for the 8th spot. Can he get it around the outside? And that opens up room for the 42 machine. Way wide there, and that's 2 for 1. Wow, and he moves right into that spot.
Good move by the 12 of Eric Jeffers, taking over 8th spot. That puts Tony Japs there in 9th, and Bostic back to 10th. Back up with John DeRutris and trying to find opportunity with Garrett Walden there. That is for a 5th place spot with 7 laps to go.
Yeah, and he really wants that spot bad. You can see DeRutris, I wouldn't say he's getting frustrated yet, but he is just really trying to figure out a way he can get by that 43, and he's trying to time it right. Trying to get that momentum to where he knows he can get it, and looks he's right on the bumper there. This may be the move right here. So I think at this point, DeRutris has figured out he's better through the bus stop, and that's where he's going to do it. Not into the bus stop, but through it, and coming off of there. You can see how much he closes the gap. Just can't quite hold on to it through the carousel. So that, I think, Section 2 is going to be where he can get it done.
Right there on the bumper of Garrett Walden as they head towards the start-finish line, hoping he can try to take an opportunity here as they head towards turn 1.
Yeah, look down to the inside, can't quite do it there. And remember, if you follow in that draft to somebody else, you definitely can gain some time. Not a lot, not like super speedway draft, but you can gain a little bit of time there just staying behind a guy and getting that clean air on you. And that is something that these next-gen cars really like having, is clean air. You don't really want to be behind a guy, a couple car lengths back. So if you can, get up close to him like we're watching right here, that's prime air for these cars. And we'll see if he can make it through the bus stop. A little bit of a later turn in. Whistle much slower. We'll see if he can make the move. Can't quite get there. Gosh, this is close.
Yeah, it appears that Walden is good throughout the rest of the track, but struggles through the bus stop a little bit, and that's where DeRutris has an opportunity, but it's really going to have to wait till a mistake is made, I think, to pull it off.
Yeah, and he knows he's faster, and that's a frustrating thing as a driver, especially, is that when you know you're faster, you're like, dang, I just cannot figure this out. And that really is what we've seen out of DeRutris. He is a really clean driver in this series, and doesn't quite have a win yet, but so far he's locked in on points. He's got what he wanted, and even with this finish here, he can come out happy knowing he got some really good points.
All right, back up front, we'll take a look at Billy Smith as he continues to lead.
Not by much, though.
Nope, 2.2 seconds is all he's got between himself and Tyler Lem. As the laps continue to tick away, 5 laps to go, about to be 4 as these drivers head towards the start-finish line.
Yeah, and I'm not quite hitting, if I'm him, I'm not quite hitting the panic button yet. But I am starting to get a little bit nervous if I'm that number 70 machine. You can see there, he's maintaining that gap really well.
Yeah.
Kind of staying in that 2.8, 2.9 range, and that's kind of that sweet spot. We haven't really seen it dip below that so far today, but Billy Smith, what an opportunity it's been for him, and he is definitely just focusing inside that car, trying not to mess up, not looking in his rearview mirror, and that gap has gone up to 3 seconds. And these are going to be the money laps for sure. You cannot afford any mistakes right now.
Yeah, Billy Smith has only had so far 4 starts in this series. It's a relatively new name for us here in 2025 for the iNRS Racing Series.
Yeah, always good to see a new guy come in and take like a duck to water, and so far that's exactly what he's done, and he's found himself in first already on a road course, and he is really just trying to make that run work and almost dipping into the 1 second mark. We may see something here from Tyler Lem, and right now he is going to let it all hang out. He just has 3 laps to make a move, and he's still 2.5 seconds back right now.
All right, down to 3 laps to go as the lead car, Billy Smith, makes his way through the bus stop. Looking on back to our Billy challenges. Of course, we missed some action here. Garrett Walden now up to 4th, able to get around Jacob Musso, and John Drugis back in 6th. Something was to happen with that 25 car. Let's try to go back and see if we can figure that out.
See if we can find what happened there with the 25 machine. But in the meantime, looking
Dakota
up front,
LaRue also went off track as well.
Yeah.
See if we can catch that before.
Yeah, unfortunate for Dakota LaRue. He was having a really good day. Yeah, just Senator. Oh, yeah, really hard damage there. And let's see if he'll have any. Yeah, looks like he has some wheel damage there.
Oh, yeah,
really unfortunate for Dakota LaRue. It's like his hope of a good finish is done. Looking back up front, look at how close it's gotten. Tyler Lem is there, 0.4 of a second between him and Billy Smith. And we may see a classic road course finish right here. This is going to be exciting. Right here, 0.5 of a second now. Lem has a little bit of a run here. He's going to dip down into the 0.3 of a second now, almost to 0.2. Billy Smith trying to make his tires last till the end. We'll see if he can do it. A big dive there from Tyler Lem. Coming off of turn 8. White flag is out here at Watkins Glen.
Final lap here in the Milan's Magic at the Glen here. Billy Smith currently out in front, leading. Tyler Lem right there on his tail, but he has stretched it out just a little bit. If he can hold on, he'll get his first win of the season.
We've seen Billy Smith struggle a little bit through the bus stop and in the carousel. That's section 2. We'll see if he can make it just a little bit better there. Not a big gap between him and Tyler Lem. Lem closes the gap through the bus stop now. Smith trying to make it last.
Tyler Lem cuts off a little bit, keeps 2 tires on the track, but tries to get his way towards the bumper of the 70 and was not able to make it work through the bus stop.
Billy Smith joined a couple of weeks ago. He rounds through turn 6 into 7, the final corner on this racetrack. Does Tyler Lem have anything else left in the tank? No, he won't. Billy Lem, a little loose off of the final turn, but he's going to make it last. No, he gets by him. Tyler Lem gets
out of
by
gas.
Billy Smith. Billy Smith runs out of gas, and Tyler Lem steals one at the Glen. My, oh my, what a finish.
Did he run out of gas? He must have.
Wow.
We need to look at that finish again. Holy cow.
I'm on board now at the 70. Let's see what happened. Yeah, he was out of gas. Billy Smith runs out of gas on the final lap and loses to Tyler Lem. Wow.
Wow, wow, wow. So the 99 of Tyler Lem pulls out an amazing victory here, just 100 yards from the start-finish line. Billy Smith, who led multiple laps, runs out of gas and allows the 99 to take over that position.
Wow. And we've seen finishes like that at places like Charlotte with Dale Jr. losing the Coke 600 that way, but never on a road course have I seen that happen. Tyler Lem, you can call yourself an iNRS Cup Series winner, and he pulls it off in a absolute thriller here at Watkins Glen.
Okay, results are in the Milan's Magic at the Glen with an exciting finish at the end. Tyler Lem wins this race. Billy Smith in second, Corey Ennis in third, Garrett Walden in fourth, Jacob Musso in fifth, John Drudris in sixth, Tony Jabs in seventh, Ty Bosick in eighth, Eric Jeffers in ninth, and Bradley Reese is in 10th.
Joe Musow finishes 11th, John Ledger in 12th, Vince Burns 13th, Scott Thomas 14th, Austin Walton 15th, Dakota LaRue finishes 16th, Ron Fitting in 17th, Mike Wheel 18th, Jordan Wenzel 19th, Richard Mills, Christopher Cash, and Shane Trotter round out this 22-car field, and what a win it was for Tyler Lem by less than 100 yards. He wins it.
Looks like the 27 of Corey Ennis is pushing the 99. I think the 99 also ran out of fuel.
Yeah, these guys had to have been close on fuel. They pitted right on the stage break and may have been just a little bit early, but wow. Tyler Lem, what a win.
All right, well, these guys are celebrating a bit here. Let's try to get them into the broadcast booth for their end and their race interviews here. We're waiting on the drivers to come in. Can't wait to speak to these guys. Man, Billy Smith in second. Billy Smith, let's see if we can even locate him. He may not be in the mood to talk about what just happened.
Yeah, and I mean, I for sure thought, looking down the front straightaway there, it looked like he had it, but man, what a run that Lem had there on that final corner.
Still looking right now. I don't see Corey Ennis, Billy Smith available for interviews at this point, but we'll keep our hopes up here. I see Tyler Lem. Nobody yet, but hey, this has probably been the best road course I've seen in recent moments.
Yeah, and that was just a outstanding finish. What we saw there that last couple of laps, Lem put himself in a position to win, and he did just that, and he steals one here at Watkins Glen.
All right. Well, can't get a hold of Corey Ennis. If they join us, we'll bring them in. Let's grab Tyler Lem here and bring your winner into the broadcast booth. Tyler, congratulations on your victory. Man, I thought you were just there. You thought you had it. It kind of slipped away. You were within fractions of an inch of Billy's bumper, and then runs out of gas.
I could tell by how much he was backing up those corners that he was going to be real close. I mean, I know he had 2 laps of fuel less than I did on board, and I basically ran out coming to the line. So, hell of a fuel save for him. But boy, I can't say I felt too bad when I saw him sputtering coming out of turn 7 there.
Yeah, he went in on lap 13 and topped off. Then you had about 4 laps of advantage. It's unfortunate, but you know what? Congratulations on your win. Great victory here at Watkins Glen.
Thank you, guys. Man, as close as I've been throughout this season, I never in a million years would have bet that my win would come I'd finally break through on a road course. But man, just 2 guys up front forced each other to push hard. Forced a mistake out of my teammate who's just helped me so much along the way to just get better, turning left and right. And helped run him out of fuel, and that was a real team win.
Tyler, through
Absolutely.
those last couple of laps there, we saw you start closing the gap. Take us through how that last couple of laps went for you and trying to chase down the leader.
It was going great. With about 5 laps left of fuel, I still needed to save. With about 5 laps in the race, I still needed to save about half a lap of fuel, so I needed to back it down a little bit. Started short shifting. I was just focused on hitting my marks, and then my eyes got too big right as we got to the bus stop on the last lap, and blew through it. I'm like, oh great, there goes my race. Guess it's another P2. And gosh, I don't know what I did to get that good karma, or what Billy did to get that bad karma, but whew.
Well, it right now you're posting the win for tonight here at the Milan's Magic at the Glen. Congratulations on your win. Shout outs tonight.
Oh, shout out my dad, shout out my Meemaw, shout out my grandpa, shout out my friends that always watched me race. I wouldn't do this with so much inspiration if it weren't for them watching. So, and shout out Corey for sponsoring us tonight.
You got it. All right, and the Billy's joined us here in the broadcast booth. Billy, congratulations on your second place finish, but I'm sure that wasn't where you wanted to finish.
Looks like he may be muted.
Billy, can
No,
you
I'm
hear
here,
us?
sorry.
That's okay. Man, we sat and we watched the approach you took with Jordan, and you took that pit early. We're like, man, that's a very interesting strategy. I don't think either Noah or myself felt that was a good move. You proved us wrong.
Well, I mean, I think you were probably, in hindsight, you were probably correct. I didn't do, a lot of, say, homework, or, a lot of these guys run the truck and the Xfinity races to get all that background and understanding of how the fuel mileage would work. So I kind of looked at the beginning, first 5 or 10 laps, and tried to figure it out. And I knew I was going to be in a lot of trouble once I got out of the pits. We went to the yellow flag laps, and I'm like, these guys, they're probably going to have to save, but it's going to be a much easier job than I got in front of me.
Well, we were pretty impressed by when you had fuel and when you were running. It was really a great opportunity to see you up front and battling there with Jordan.
Yeah, it's always fun with Jordan. I didn't quite see. I guess he just had a little mistake and or hit the curbs wrong. Those curbs are pretty rough in the bus stop. It's like it's fine until you just do it just wrong, and it seems like it's kind of impossible to save. But I probably would have been in even more trouble if that hadn't happened. I probably would have had to change my strategy up quite a bit.
Well, congratulations on your second place finish. Any shout outs tonight?
Just you guys, my girlfriend back home, and just the guys that do this league. I mean, Tyler, it's a lot of fun. So thanks everyone who puts it together.
You got it. That's Billy Smith in our second place finisher tonight. Made for exciting finish there at the end. And Corey Ennis joins us here in the booth. Corey, solid third place finish tonight.
Absolutely, I am not mad about that one at all.
I wouldn't be if I were you. You ran a great race all the way through. You qualified third. You finished third.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting. I never qualify well. It's what I've struggled with the most this season. So I kind of pushed as much as I could in qualifying, but without hurting myself too bad, and it ended up working out.
Absolutely. As we watched through, we saw lots of battles throughout tonight, but you were very consistent. What we saw tonight, and certainly it showed.
Yeah, that was kind of what I was focusing on, just not hurting myself. Just keeping it easy. Not like I let at the beginning of the race, I wasn't trying to race my teammate and wreck ourselves. I just kind of let him go and hope for the best. And after the stage, I just somehow, with Billy pitting, I ended up in third and just kind of held on to it. Sucks for Jordan. I hate that for him. But and then Billy running out of gas. That really sucks. But I'm happy for Tyler. He's worked his butt off to get that win.
Any shout outs tonight, Corey?
Absolutely. Shout out to Tyler. Congratulations on the win. Shout out to the whole SFM team. They've been in my corner the whole time. And Milan's Magic, the sponsor for today's race, it's my girlfriend's candle business. So
All
If you
right.
want to buy some candles for your ladies, milansmagic.com.
All right. As we said earlier in the broadcast, Milan's Magic is a small locally owned business run by Milan. Milan's a registered nurse and a big advocate for veterans in mental health. All of Milan Magic's products are handmade using materials produced in the U.S. Each candle is made with soy wax, meaning a cleaner burn for better air quality, longer lasting, and a much stronger scent. So visit, as Corey just said, milansmagic.com to grab the best smelling candles at an affordable price. All right, Noah, what are
Yes,
your
sir.
thoughts?
I mean, just a showstopper of a race. I mean, we saw battles all over the track all night long, and we saw everything from battles for the top 5 for an exciting fuel mileage finish, which we had no idea it was going to be a fuel mileage race up until the last 2 laps there. But overall, a really exciting race here at a blazing hot Watkins Glen.
All right. Well, for everybody here at the IWM Broadcast Network, our drivers, our winner tonight, Tyler Lem, here at the Milan's Magic at the Glen. We appreciate everybody who has tuned in. So tune in next week because we will be at Richmond Raceway for the second to last regular season event. Richmond is absolutely an exciting event here for the Cookout 200. Join us Thursday for that event here. Same bat time, same bat channel. All right, for Noah and myself, we wish you all the best. Have a great night and good night from everyone here at the IWM Broadcast Network.